scraps. One of the first decks I put together and uploaded on YouTube on my other channel for you guys. If you've known me or been a part of my channel since, last August, or you just know me in real life, you know that I used to play scraps all the time. When they first came out, I picked up, it was so long ago that when I picked up my scrap dragons for my scrap deck, they were like 10 bucks each. Like, that's how long I played scraps. And, slowly but surely, I just I think I traded some of my scrap dragons for, or short Christias or something like that. Not Christias, it was Tethys. And I just didn't have the cards left to make scraps anymore, so I just slowly traded away all the stuff. And I hadn't really looked back until I opened this guy's binder like a few weeks ago. He goes, "You trying to make scraps? I got a bunch of stuff. I just took the deck apart." My eyebrow kind of raised a little bit, and I was like, "Sure. Let me see what you got." I ended up getting 3 Chimeras, 3 Scrapstorms, 3 Scrapyards, and 2 Scrap Twins in like one fell swoop. So all I needed really was the commons, rares, and 2 more Scrap Dragons, and I put them all together and added some Extreme Victory, and I've been playtesting it lately. It's awesome. It's competing on a very high level right now. I've been able to take out 3 different 6am players with it pretty handily. My friend's Infernity deck, Doppel Warrior, I've had some really good success with it. Some of the combos, some of the plays that are in here now with the Extreme Victory and the new Shonen Jump promo, Machina for Grannel, just kind of really puts it, gives it that little, push that I think it needed. So without further ado, let's go over the deck. I'm just going to go through the whole list real quick, and then I'm going to go back and explain cards. 3 Chimera, 2 Beasts. If you're ever wondering why I have like marks on my hand, I work with my hands at work, so I usually get my hands all dinged up on there. 2 Scrap Goblin, 1 Scrap Orthros, this is a secret from the new set. 1 Scrap Golem, 3 Reborn Tengu, 2 Machine Emperor Grannel, 2 Effect Veiler, 1 Summoner Monk. I hate Summoner Monk because it doesn't come hollow. Like, if you notice, my deck's pretty much all hollow except for Summoner Monk and my Book of Moon. It's kind of sad. Everything that can't be hollow, that is. 1 Sangan, 1 Neo-Spacing Grannel, 3 Scrapstorm, 3 Scrapyard, 2 MST, 1 Book, 1 Scapegoat, 1 Mind Control, 1 Giant Trunade, 1 Dark Pull, 1 Monster Reborn, 2 Royal Decree, 2 Solemn Warning, 2 Compulsory Evacuation Device, 1 Call, 1 Torrential, and 1 Solemn. Now you'll notice that I run 2 Royal Decree with a pretty, not hefty trap lineup, but there's still a lot more traps than you'd expect in a Decree build. It's not just a Decree build, but if you play Scrap Dragon and you're playing it correctly, you can flip over Decree, buy yourself a few turns with it, and then pop it with a Scrap Dragon when you're done. You want to be able to compulse something or like that. So let's go over the deck. 4 scraps. Ever since they came out in Duelist Revolution, there's been 4 cards that you'll see in almost every scrap deck. The first one being Chimera. It's a 1700 attack, 4-star. When you normal summon it, you can pull a scrap monster from your graveyard, and scrap tuner monster, and special summon it to the field. So you can go Scrap Chimera and then grab a Scrap Golem, not a Golem, a Goblin or a Beast, and synchro from there. It can only be used to synchro into a scrap monster, so Scrap Archfiend or Scrap Dragon. So almost always we want to go Chimera into Scrap Beast and then into an eventual Dragon. It's always been a staple. 1700 isn't bad for a for kind of your mainstay of the deck. It's like a Debris Dragon, but just better in my opinion. But it does have you can't like Black Rose with it, which kind of sucks. If you could go Chimera into Goblin Black Rose, it'd be so broke and really awesome actually, because you recycle your Chimeras with the Scrap effect. When I say Scrap effect, there's 3 monsters in this deck, I believe, that when they're destroyed by the effect of a scrap card, they go to the graveyard and they bring back a level 4 or lower scrap monster to your hand. So you're usually going to go, say we have something like this on the field, and I blow, or my Scrap Beast blows up by a scrap effect, whether it be a Scrapstorm or a Scrapyard, so we'll go to the graveyard, and say this is in the graveyard too, and pull the Chimera back to my hand. And you just kind of like loop off that, and that's kind of your bread and butter. Luckily, the deck isn't such a one-trick pony anymore. We have a few tricks up our sleeves, actually. Quite a few. So, 3 Chimera. You'll see it in almost every single build, and it's a great card. Next is Scrap Beast. A lot of people used to run 3. Now that Orthros is in the picture, I'm only running 2. Orthros isn't a Scrap Beast replacement. They don't do exactly the same thing, but I don't want to overload the tuners in the deck. If I get a handful of tuners, it really sucks. So Scrap Beast is going to be mainly what you get with Chimera to go into Scrap Dragon. It's got 1600 attack, which is really good for a 4-star tuner. It's Earth. So we can make Naturia synchros off of it, which is a key part of the deck, and we'll talk about a little bit of that later. And you know, it's it's your cornerstone. You need to have these 2 monsters, and it has a Scrap effect. When it's destroyed by a Scrap effect, it will replace itself in your hand with another Scrap monster. So we have 2 Scrap Goblins. It's much like Beast, except it's level 3, but he cannot be destroyed by battle. Now that doesn't mean you can just set him and you'll be safe for the next few turns. When he's so pretty much you'll set him, they'll attack him, they'll see that it's a Scrap Goblin, and they'll know that if they attack him again at the end of the battle phase, he's going to destroy himself by his own effect. That's his effect. But if he's being destroyed by his own effect, you're going to be able to retrieve a Scrap monster level 4 or lower from your graveyard and add to your hand. So they usually have to sit and think about it. But it's you set it against 6 Samurai, they do their big push, and he'll at least stay there till the end of the battle phase unless they do something really tricky. So he's a great little tuner. He kills himself with his own effect. He's pretty self-sufficient. Great all-around tuner in my opinion. This is the new guy, Scrap Orthros. They changed the warning on him. Originally, people thought that you could normal summon him or special summon him from your hand, but they made it to where you can only, or they changed the wording on the translation that you can only special summon this when there's another Scrap on the field. So say I have a Goblin, I can special summon Orthros. He's a level 4 tuner, but whenever he comes out, he pops something. So I can pop this Goblin, or I can even pop my own Orthros and grab a Scrap from the graveyard. So he's kind of like a monster reincarnation with legs. But he has a few applications. I'm still trying to figure out the best way to use him, but I have used him in a few ways just to get Chimeras back out of the graveyard. Because, like I said, it's a special summon, it's a free summon, so... and he's searchable by Scrapyard, and he's level 4 tuner, also with 1700 attack. And he's the new secret from Extreme Victory. Next is single Scrap Golem. Golem's really good to get in the graveyard early, and then you can, whenever your Scrap Dragon dies, eventually, you can just special summon this guy out, and then next turn you can either get a Beast or a Orthros or a Goblin out on the field and go into the Scrap or Scrap Twin. One thing that needs to be mentioned about Orthros is that he can't be special summoned from the graveyard unless used properly special summoned first. This means you can't grab him with Summoner Monk, you can't Foolish Burial and then grab him with Chimera. So you have to go through the proceedings of let him hit the field first if you want to use him, like if you want to Reborn him or do anything like that, so just keep that in mind. Next is Reborn Tengu. There's a lot of hype about this card, and for good reason. I think this is easily, since I've been playing it, the best sneak preview card that I've ever seen. You get this for just buying into the sneak. 1700 attack, level 4. When it leaves the field for any reason really, so if it gets deprisoned, even removed from play, it replaces itself. You special summon another one from your deck. So the only really bad thing is whenever you draw like 2, but there's tons of plays to be made with them. You synchro into a Scrap Dragon with a Beast with them, and then you get another Tengu. Then you pop that Tengu with Scrap Dragon's effect, you get another Tengu. It's ridiculous, and I would definitely suggest trying them in your, especially if you're running a synchro deck, in your deck before you make your final judgment on it. This is where things get interesting. The Meklords are finally here. 2 of the 3 Emperors are playable now. We got Skill and Grannel playable in the United States. Sadly, Weisel is the best one in my opinion. Can't play him here yet, but the next best thing is Grannel. He comes in the Shonen Jump from this month, so you can go out and buy him for pretty much $5. 0/0, 1-star Earth. He comes out whenever a monster, face-up monster on your side of the field is destroyed by a card effect. So that can be a Mirror Force, that can be a Bottomless Trap Hole, that can be a Torrential Tribute, and he comes out onto the field. Now, Another way to get him on the field is scrap effects. So Goblin killing himself, Orthros killing a monster, Scrapstorm killing a monster is also going to allow you to bring out Grannel. And Grannel is an interesting monster. Whatever your life points are, whenever he hits the field, he cuts that in half, and that's his attack. So if you get him out before you're taking any damage, it's a 4,000 attack monster. So all this sounds fine and dandy. So Scraps rely on their own destruction effects. It's also it can go off your opponent's destruction effects, and you can have a 4,000 beater. That's awesome. But what the real thing that he's used for, say you're going against 6 Samurai, because that's like everyone's worst fear is 6 Samurai, and they pop your face-up Scrap Goblin with a Shinai. I think it's Shinai, or the red one, Mizuho. And you then, this can be special summoned from your hand. He comes out, they can't attack over it for a turn. Next turn, what he can do is, once per turn, he can equip your one face-up opponent Synchro Monster. So we'll grab that Shien, equip it to him, and he now gains that monster's attack. Okay, so he's now up to a 6,500 attack beat stick. That's not the best thing yet. There's so many faces to the card. The best thing is he can take that equipped monster and special summon it onto your side of the field in defense mode. So I now have a Shien to negate my opponent's stuff, and he can do this once per turn. So once per turn, he's going to absorb a monster, and he can absorb multiple ones at the same time if you just want to add him to his attack. It's really good, especially in Scraps, which have their own card destruction effects. You don't have to rely on your opponent destroying them. So if face-up monster gets destroyed by any means, this guy can come out. The monster has to be sent to the graveyard. So actually it doesn't work off bottom. I shouldn't have said that earlier. The monster does have to be sent to the graveyard. So just think of that. It's an amazing card for Scraps now. I didn't think it'd be that great until I started playing it today, and it's I don't want to be cliche with you YouTubers, but it put in work. It was really awesome. Next we have Effect Veiler ×2. You guys should all know about Effect Veiler. If you don't, go watch my video called Effect Veiler is Awesome. I think that's what it is. One Summoner Monk. This allows us to get an instant Scrap Dragon with Beast. And that's pretty much all he's here for. Sangan. Sangan can search out your Effect Veilers, your Goblins, your Grannels, your Geospatian Grand Mole, your Summoner Monk. So he has a place in the deck. Right now I'm keeping him in there. Next is Grand Mole. It's kind of like a tech choice for me. I really like being able to bounce back Shiens. Again, I know I'm just talking about 6 Sams, but I like being able to bounce back some big Synchros. Additionally, he opens up more of the Naturia Synchros to us. So that's a pretty standard lineup for this version of Scraps. Some people may not play the Sangan, some people may not play, the Grand Mole, but for the most part, that's what you're going to see. Next is Scrapstorm. Most people already know what this card does. Face-up Scrap, you target it. You send a monster from your deck to the graveyard. You then destroy your Scrap. Okay, excuse me. Let me restart it, because this card, I know how it works, it's just hard to explain. Okay, you target a face-up Scrap, you send one Scrap monster from your deck to the graveyard, you draw one card, and then finally, last thing that happens is that Scrap card is destroyed by a Scrap effect. So if you dumped like a Chimera or a Golem or anything like that, and you targeted a Beast or an Orthros or a Goblin, you're going to be able to bring that back. So not only does it let you draw, lets you get pretty much whatever Scrap you want into your hand if you're using it on the right target. Amazing card, chainable. Say you summon your Beast and it gets bottomless, 2-chain Scrapstorm to it. Also, it procs Grannel's effect. It's sweet. Next is Scrapyard. Since we do have a toolbox of tuners, we have 5 tuners that are searched by it. I want to be able to get what tuner I want at any point in the game. Some people run 2, some people will even run 1, but I'm going to swear by 3 personally. 2 MSTs. I don't need to explain that. Book of Moon, don't need to explain it. Scapegoat, interesting choice. I actually really like the card, but mainly it's in here, again, to open up Naturia Synchros to me because they are so good. It summons 4 level 1 Earth tokens, so you can pretty much, if you have a Beast or a Goblin in your hand, next time that comes around, you're going to be able to get hit the Naturia Synchro you need at that given time. Mind Control. I run Oh god, 5, 6, 7 tuners. 7 tuners warrants a mind control in my opinion. Trunade, Dark Hole, and Reborn. The double Royal Decree, you have to be able to play around it. Don't just flip Decree because you can. Obviously, before you make your big play with your Chimera or something like that, that's when you flip over your Decree. And you know, if you're going to have a dragon on the field, you're going to be able to pop your Decree and pop one card on their side of the field and open up your traps again. It's a good blanket effect. What Scraps really want to do is they want to make the game so, I guess they want to simplify the game, is the best way to put it. They want to simplify the field to where they can do what they do best and can just control it. And part of that is going to be Royal Decree. You get Royal Decree or in a Naturia Synchro, and maybe even a Scrap Dragon on top of that, you pretty much got game. I really like Decree. I wasn't a big fan of it when I first tried it, but it's worked out really well for me. 2 Solemn Warnings, don't need to explain. 2 Compulsories. Compulse, I think, is a really underrated card, and additionally, it's chainable. So, let's say the situation is I have a Scrap Dragon on my side of the field, this card's face down. I can target my face down back row and one of their cards. You ask them, do you have a response? They say no. And I say, in response to the Scrap Dragon's effect, I'm going to flip over my Compulse. Not only can you bounce one of their monsters and destroy the target that they had, not only can you bounce one of their monsters, you can also destroy the monster that they had. Sorry, I get a little ahead of myself. So, chainable cards are really good for Scrap Dragon. You can do the same thing with MST or any quick play for that matter. So it's a really good thing to know is that whenever you select your 2 targets, you've already met your requirement for Scrap Dragon's effect to go off. So you can from there you can chain the card that was targeted, and it'll still destroy on their side of the field. So just keep that in mind. 1 Call. Call is amazing in Scraps. You just got to know when to play it and play it on the right card. And you know, you're either going to use it on, you know, a Scrap Dragon or, you know, a tuner just to pop one. There's so many applications that Call has in this deck in particular. But in all decks, Call's never been a bad card. It's just another way to get what you need when you need it onto the field. 1 Torrential. I love Torrential. I'm running it. If you notice, I'm not running a Mirror Force. Kind of ran out of room, and I think Torrential does what I want better, I guess is the way to put it. So that is the deck lineup. We'll go over the extra deck real quick. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask. I'm hoping this video is not too long. I don't have a timer on this program I'm using to record it on, so hopefully it's not too long. It's all out of order. I'm so OCD, I hate that. 3 Scrap Dragons. You guys gotta at least have 2 if you're planning on running Scraps. Sadly, it's just kind of the way it is. It's falling. I wonder how long it's been like that. 2 Scrap Twin. That Scrap Twin is level 9 Scrap monster, and you can pop 1 card on your side of the field to bounce 2 on theirs. So it's not just drawing like Scrap Dragons, but it can bounce synchros back. You need to have the option to make this card. 1 Landoise, 1 Barkion, and 1 Nat Beast. Nat Beast is probably my favorite because it doesn't require you to do anything but mill to negate the spell card. So Nat Beast, Barkion, and Landoise are all key cards. If played right, they can really get you game. That's why I run enough ways to be able to make them with my Scraps. 1 Dark End Dragon, just because I can make them off a Summoner Monk, and sometimes a lot of people forget about this guy. He can be a game changer. 1 Stardust, 1 Colossal, 1 Scrap Archfiend, 1 Drio, 1 Black Rose, and 1 Catastor. You don't really make Catastor too much, but you want to have the option. So that's the deck, guys. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. I'm sorry if I ramble on a little bit in the video. Like I said, it's been running really well. I don't know what the name for this deck is. A lot of people have been saying Tengu Scraps because it runs Tengu, but it's a lot of fun. I won't say it's budget because some of the cards are kind of pricey. This guy today, people were asking like $40, $50 for it. I ended up picking it up for, I traded 2 Tengus that I bought for $10 for it, so I ended up paying $10 for my Orthros pretty much. Tengus are going to be around for a while, guys. Get used to the card. It's too good. Grannels, Effect Veilers. It's just a really good deck. You get a nice little toolbox at the end there with the Effect Veilers and the Sangan and all stuff like that. It's a lot of fun. So I'm rambling again, but that's the deck. If you have any questions, let me know.